Raider.
We started.
Do you want to present today?
Oh, sure, I can
I
present.
presented the last 23 of them. I think it's only fair you present the one today.
Did I not present one recently?
Have we already started it?
Yeah, I started.
Okay.
Well, I guess this is our way of presenting. Welcome back to the Blue Ballers podcast. See, we told you we would be back really soon, and here we are.
Under a week.
Yes, less than a week.
And we're
Well,
back.
Yeah, big match against Liverpool. Fighting for potentially, hopefully, maybe a title race. Managed to get a draw, 2-2. But we'll get into the details in a bit. What were your initial thoughts of the match?
Very interesting tactical battle. To start off with, there was no Jurgen Klopp to be seen on the touchline. At first, I thought he bricked it. I thought he bottled it. I thought he was scared of coming to London and facing his arch nemesis, also known as the better German, Thomas Tuchel. But it turns out the guy just caught COVID, so we'll let him off for that one. I hope he recovers swiftly and gets back to the touchline. But it was a very interesting game overall. I thought, either side could have won it. Both had really good chances. Obviously, being a home fixture, it's always going to seem like we were the likelier team to win. But Liverpool being Liverpool, you can never rule them out with anything. So I think overall today, as disappointing as the result is in terms of the bigger perspective, which is chasing Man City, I can't be that disappointed with the performance that we put out. Personally, that's how I feel.
It was a real clash, and both teams looked exceptional. I love the display from both sides.
Yeah.
A lot of energy, especially that first half.
So the
Fantastic.
first half, the possession was ours. We had the possession at 58%, as opposed to Liverpool's 42%. We had more shots on target in the first half. They had more shots on target. We had more total shots. So it was quite an evenly matched game. I mean, we had more passes, more long balls, more crosses, more accurate passes, higher dribble success rate. We won more duels and we had more interceptions that we won. So, the first half was very interesting because obviously they went ahead. Trevor Chalobah made quite a bad error, really.
Two big errors. One was a header.
Yeah.
Which I think it fell towards Mane, but then I can't remember if it got recovered or not. And the second was another bad header, which then Mane took advantage of fully and scored.
Yeah. So obviously there were so many talking points leading into the game, which we'll get into after. But for the game itself, obviously 6 seconds in, Sadio Mane goes to win a ball up against Aspie. What looks like him throwing out his arm catches Aspie with his elbow. The referee gives a yellow card. The reasoning after the game was that it was reckless, but it was not violent. I really don't understand that. I don't get that. If it was 20 minutes in, it would have definitely been a red card. I can't see any scenario where that shouldn't have been given a red card. So, what were your thoughts on that today?
I think it was the decision by the ref today was wrong. It should have been a red card. A part of me was also happy that it wasn't, because I just wanted to see these two teams play at their best. Avoid one team missing out on a player, but I just wanted to see a really good game, and I think I got that today.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to see... You want to see games finish 11v11. Mm-hmm. But I think with the amount of decisions that have gone against us, especially with Anthony Taylor, who I feel has been in positions before that has really displayed his poor officiating, shall we say. I don't really want to get too much into conspiracy theories today, but he's not been the kindest to us. And I think today, it was 6 seconds in, so maybe he didn't want to give a red card early, but I think a red card should be a red card, whether it's the first second or the last second of the match. It's plain and simple. I think we got done a bit dirty there. Um, but since from then on, I mean, they dominated. In terms of the way they were moving and passing the ball and putting themselves in positions to attack us. They were being typical Liverpool. It's very difficult to face Liverpool, who, they had a few players out. So did we. Um, but to contain them is very difficult, and we conceded twice. Like you said, one was off the error. The second was just pure artistry by Salah. He's proven again, what a world class player he is. His movement in behind. Look. I mean, there's an angle of his goal where it's an aerial angle, and you're seeing the defenders just focusing on the ball, not having any awareness about Salah's movement in behind. As soon as I mean, by the time they see it, he's already gone. He's got the ball, pumps fake on Alonso one time, and puts in the near post. Which Mendy potentially could have done something about it, but we've seen so many goalkeepers get done by Salah like that. So unfortunate. But then yeah, you go for it. I'll let you commentate on what happened thereafter.
Well, we have a fantastic Croatian playing for Chelsea, who absolutely bossed throughout the game. But short, what minute was it? Was it 42nd minute?
I think so.
After a corner, the ball goes up in the air. Kovacic positions himself for a fantastic volley. Goes in the net. Becomes a goal.
It was one of the best goals I've seen in recent times. It was truly a work of art. I think if Zinedine Zidane scored that, we'd be talking about it for decades and decades. But I think because Kovacic is quite allergic to scoring goals. He scores. I mean, he only scores bangers really, but today was absolutely sensational from him. I think he was overall he won the man of the match, but overall he was absolutely fabulous. He controlled so many parts of the game. His touches were spectacular. He's a player that we know has that in his locker, but when you see him in motion, it's like poetry. He could, I mean, easily slot into the Liverpool team the way they move the ball, and that would have he could easily play for one of those kind of teams. But he did it for us today. He looked like he was enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Going back to his best form. He's not had a great time because of his injury. So to come back and this is his second or third game back, absolutely bossed it. Kante next to him, and the goal just sort of it was perfectly symbolic of the sort of performance that he delivered today. It was on the volley, like top bins, like controlled in a very tense moment where we needed to score, where we needed to pull a goal back to try and get back into the game, and he delivered. He was there, he did it, and happy days. Couldn't have asked for a better performance from him for sure. And then the second goal came. How did that come about?
Well, Kovacic scored, and you're just thinking, all right, we've got one goal. Let's go into half time and come back in the second half, going, guns blazing. But before that can even happen in stoppage time,
they were like, we don't even want half time. We don't even need half time.
Kante, with an interception, puts it through to Pulisic, who had previously missed such a great chance at the beginning of the match.
1v1
against the goalkeeper,
against Liverpool's second choice goalkeeper.
Right, and this is his chance to redeem himself, and he's going towards goal. Van Dijk, for some reason, isn't following him. I think he just doesn't rate him. And
Van Dijk looked at him and said, he'll defend himself. He's fine.
And left-footed, Pulisic blasted past the goalkeeper.
Top bins again.
Yeah,
absolutely sensational. The comeback was obviously brilliant. It showed that there was a lot of character. You do want to see your team and your players come up with these sort of performances where they show that they care, they show that they're hungry, and despite the errors. And we know that Liverpool are Liverpool. When you make an error against them, they're going to capitalize. They're going to take their chances, and they're going to put games to bed. What we didn't do is drop our heads at any point. We got back in. We took the ball, put it on the penalty, put it on the halfway line, and we said, "We're facing this game head on. We have a game, we have a result to get. We're not giving this up." And they pulled it back sensationally just before half time. And then going into half time, I felt that was our game. That this is our game to lose now. We have to go in second half, same energy, start pumping balls up. They couldn't deal with our long balls. They couldn't deal with it down the channels. We were running channels brilliantly. Havertz was fantastic. Mason was fantastic as usual. Pulisic, he was making intelligent runs in behind defense and stuff. So it was all working really well. And we did create so many chances. We created chance after chance, and it's just this age-old story of Chelsea just not being able to finish their chances, and it's affecting us. And I was saying this to someone earlier, is that I really wish we were more of a league team, because to understand the importance of the league, you have to really you have to look at teams like City and Liverpool, who are killers in front of goal. They know the moment you can go 2-0 up at half time, you can take the foot off the gas in the second half, take it easy, get into the next game with ease. No injuries, no nothing, no fatigue, nothing. But I feel like we really stretch ourselves, really push ourselves, after that 1-0 without really doing anything about it. Like, we'll get up to 90 minutes at 1-0 and we won't really finish games. And I think that's taking a physical toll on our players, condition. And I think today a bit of that crept back in. We were not, not that we weren't good. I thought we were a very good side, but again, we're not finishing our chances. It was really quite frustrating to see again.
Definitely, yeah. Liverpool made 2 changes, and then we brought on Jorginho for Trevor Chalobah. What did you think of the way we were playing following that decision?
Normally, I would say, bringing on Jorginho. I'm all for Jorginho being part of every single game. For me, he starts every single game easy. Jorginho Kante should be a definite lock-in. I think Kovacic is the one that sort of fleets and fills in for, off the bench or to start an easier game or whatever. But Jorginho, for me, has to start every single game. He's the one that controls the tempo. He's the one that allows us to keep the ball possession. He arranges, the players around him. He also contributes to attack in terms of knocking balls forward and having the players run, behind defenses and stuff. So for me, we look a different team completely when Jorginho's not playing. That's a fact, right? That goes without being said. But Chalobah, obviously, he suffered an injury today, unfortunately. He brought Jorginho on and we went to 5-3-2. I felt after all the possession and all the attacking football that we played, it sort of it fell apart a bit, when we went to 5-3-2. When we had just 2 players up front, I don't think we stretched their defense up too much, which meant, they were getting a lot more of the ball when we were knocking those balls forward still. And I think we sort of lost that edge that we had with 3 up front.
Lose the press as well.
Lose the press. Weren't able to press them high enough, and when we did, it was with Kovacic or Kante, which then leaves us a bit vulnerable in midfield. But yeah, I can't really fault Tuchel's decision making, because I think he got it spot on for most of the game today. But I think for a game that you're chasing and to go 5-3-2, I think I don't think it was the best option, especially when you don't have. I'm going to say it, when you don't have a striker like Romelu Lukaku playing 5-3-2. I think that's the determining factor. You need someone that can hold the ball up, someone you can pump the ball up to. Don't think Havertz or Mount were those players. So, I don't think that worked particularly well. I think that game was there for us to win today. I don't think we should have looked at it from any other perspective but to get all 3 points. Not least because, we're chasing Man City, but it's common sense when you're hot on a game and you're feeling yourself, and the players are performing up to a very high standard. You go for it. You go for the game. You chase it. You can rely on your defenders. You've got your keeper, your first choice keeper, and you go for it. But it is what it is. What did you make of it?
I have a question. A game like this where Liverpool have such a high line, do you think? How do you think Lukaku would do for this?
Yeah, the Lukaku thing coming into the game, we can sort of talk more to everything that's happened as well. I think it's all hindsight, because you see these games and think, okay, well, he could have done good here, he could have done this there, but the fact is, I think he's not performed up to standard in the big games. Unfortunately, I mean, we had Liverpool at Anfield. He didn't deliver that time. Against City, he didn't deliver. Did he play against City? Can't remember. But I mean, I can't remember him, creating a moment of significance, in the big games. And I think today, as much as we'd like to discuss it, I'm not sure how much of a difference he would have made, especially considering, Havertz. I think Havertz was very, very decent. He looked really good. Who also came back from injury. He was injured for the best part of a month or so, and to have him back was fantastic. But yeah, I mean, I think Lukaku. Do you want to talk about Lukaku? Do you want to sort of wrap up on the game and then discuss Lukaku? Because obviously that's the bigger sort of subject, which is strange because Chelsea Liverpool, that should be the topic, but it was, the whole thing was surrounded about Lukaku. Even Sky Sports, the promo was Chelsea versus Liverpool, and the pictures that they used were Tuchel and Lukaku. Like Lukaku was on Liverpool's side. It was like Lukaku's playing against us. I was like, oh, hang on, what?
Yeah. No, I mean, there's not much more I can say about the Chelsea Liverpool match. Just a big match, a lot of drama, but a lot of great moments too.
Yeah.
I'm happy to move on to the Lukaku segment.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what came out today, there's more that's come out today on that whole thing. Is apparently he texted ex-Everton goalkeeper Tim Howard, who he played with, back in the day, back about 5-6 years ago. He said that the situation is really hot. Having another meeting on Monday will reveal more after that. So this is now becoming a joke. This is a full-blown joke. I'm extremely disappointed in him as a person, as a player. I thought a lot higher of him, and it's a fickle game, and we can talk about opinions and all this stuff, but the underlying truth is that he's disrespected the club, he's disrespected the manager, the players, and honestly, I'm not sure I want someone like him around the club. And I know he comes with an immense value, and it's not realistic to really say that we should sell him or whatever, because right now he's a depreciating value. I don't think the club will want to sell him in the current situation, in the current state, because they won't recoup anywhere near the amount that we spent on him for sure. But it's a very delicate situation from the club's perspective. I'm interested to see how it develops, especially after this, apparent meeting tomorrow. What's your thoughts on it?
It it doesn't look good from his side, does it? I think Tuchel did well to completely leave him out, given how fresh the situation was.
Why do you think he left him out? That was another shock that came out this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think he left Lukaku out?
I think to avoid any more confusion, any more drama on the situation which still hasn't been resolved, and a situation which still needs to be resolved behind closed doors, as he said. He didn't even give out much information about what would be happening in terms of punishment or what has been said already. He didn't in his post match interview. So I think they still need to clarify things between the board and Lukaku before anything else can be announced to the public. So yeah, I'm just waiting for Monday to find out.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very fresh situation. There's going to be a lot of people with opinions about this whole thing. From my opinion, what we said on the last podcast was there needs to be a real reason as to why he's gone public with this and why he's not sorted this out behind the scenes. If he's attempted to, now I can't see him being unhappy with anything. This interview took place at the start of this month. He was injured before that for
December.
all of November. So realistically, we're talking the last time he was actually playing was October, and I mean he was playing pretty decent. I don't think he was playing particularly bad. I think he was scoring goals, and he looked happy. He looked like he had his teammate support. So I can't, for the life of me, understand where this has come from. It doesn't make sense. If something's happened behind the scenes, fair enough. But he's very specifically mentioned that he doesn't like the system that Tuchel's playing. It doesn't suit him, and he can't. He's gonna face it like a professional. But these are all things that you sort out behind the scenes. If you have a problem, you speak to your manager, you speak to the coaches, you speak to your leading players or whatever. You're 28-year-old guy, 29-year-old, whatever he is. He's been around the block. He knows how the game is. He knows how things work. So for me, I think it's completely, you know, it's in bad taste. The whole thing is really strange, and it has a really weird feeling about it. I don't know if it's bigger than this situation. Sometimes you have to consider the possibility that it could be to do with his family. It could be for personal reasons. He doesn't want to be at Chelsea anymore. You never know how players' lives are. That's not for us to judge. But I think there's a way of doing things, and I don't think going public is the way to do it. I think you're like I said, disrespecting people that are actively supporting you on a daily basis.
Yeah, I think that was a comment that really stung. It was saying that Inter Milan fans were the best.
No, I can understand. I can even understand that. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for that as well.
I think it's unfair to the fans who are
No.
supporting him.
No. Listen. As a fan, as a football fan, I understand that different fan bases can make you feel different things. Now, if the interviewer is Italian and he's asking you about Inter, and your goal here is to make amends with the fans that basically gave you the love and support you needed when you were in a slump, I completely understand that. That's fine. You can. Sometimes it may be misconstrued, or it can be mistranslated, or you can be misunderstood. Really, because you're not really considering different perspectives. But to actively say, I will return to Inter Milan. He said, tell Lautaro not to leave. Tell him to stay there because I'll be back. You're not doing yourself any favors, but with the Chelsea fans by doing that. These are fans that are supporting you every single week. They're singing your name every single week. They've got their own song for you. They want you to do well. They want you to succeed. Everything that you've said that you've wanted to achieve with Chelsea, that's now gone down the drain. That means nothing. It's empty words now. So I'll never understand certain professionals when they use the public platform so much to the degree that it makes them look incredibly stupid, but also hypocritical. It's very easy. It's just a very easy way for people to scope you out and label you as an idiot. So yeah, I mean, again, Carragher, he on Sky Sports said, maybe we're making more of it than it actually is, but I wouldn't ever accept a player like that, at the club. I don't think that's something me as a fan will ever be accepting of. I don't care if it's him. I don't care if it's John Terry, anyone. If you disrespect the club by using a public platform, and you're also actively creating unrest by doing that within the squad when you're going through a tough time, or you could be going through a tough time, you could be top of the table. Don't create unrest. You got a problem, go to your manager, go to your coaches, go to anyone within the club. Tell them what your problem is. Because Tuchel is obviously, he's come out and he said that I don't know what the issue was. Like, I never knew there was an issue. So this whole thing is very confusing, So it is what I mean. We'll get to know more. I'm guessing tomorrow, day after. Depending on whether he continues to leave Lukaku out. I don't know how that impacts our season, because I mean, do we just go Werner, Havertz, Mount now? Like we're just running it back again. So I don't have a problem with that. I think we've got enough quality. But yeah, I mean, you want Romelu Lukaku in your side,
definitely,
right?
Yeah. And he's been back and he's been scoring as well recently. So you want that to continue.
He's back in form. He's created a nice partnership with Callum.
What was terrible was the timing as well, having so many games, Liverpool, Tottenham, City coming up as well. So unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a big month. It's a very, very big month for us. I think we had issues as it is. This has just created even more noise. We needed to focus on recruitment, because I think we're thin at wing back. The football wasn't particularly great because of that, and now this is sort of just added onto that, and it's, I don't know, created a bit of a wayward sort of focus, and hopefully things get back on track and we're back to chasing that title again. I said it's gone. I said the title's gone, but you never know in this day and age when COVID is impacting so many clubs on a daily basis. We're seeing matches getting postponed. We're seeing players just dropping like flies. Due to COVID, not any other reason. But it could completely change Man City season. It could change Liverpool season at any given moment. So we need to be wary of that. We've had 4 or 5 players out with COVID so far, so we know then we're not going to lose them. So yeah, it's an interesting few weeks ahead for sure.
Yeah.
Would you be happy with? Did I ask you on this on the last one? Did I say, would you be happy with Club World Cup, Super Cup, and FA Cup and top 4? Is that a successful season to you?
There's definitely trophies involved, so you'd say it is successful, wouldn't you?
3 trophies, 3 big trophies.
I think more than anything, I'd like to see progression in the squad.
Yeah.
This is Tuchel's first full season, so I'd like to see us performing better, looking more complete as a squad and as a team. For me, that's a successful season, because to aim for top spot with City already having 4 or 5 years ahead of us, and as Pep's side, I think it's because of how good we are. We could aim for it, but I think at the same time, it's not something we should necessarily expect will definitely happen.
Yeah, I think City's greatness, I think it stems from how good they are in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you look at how they are week in, week out against different opposition, getting results, getting 3 points, I think it sort of shows how strong they are as a club. Whereas with us, I feel it feels like we're a cup side. It feels like we would be very successful. And today, the sort of game that we played against Liverpool, it felt like a cup game. It didn't feel like a league game. It didn't feel like either side were scared of losing. They just wanted to sort of go end to end, and like it was a knockout game.
Yeah.
So that's quite concerning in a way, because that's not sustainable. That's not a good way of going about your business. You should always treat these games like knockout games, the big ones. But when that extends to Brighton and Burnley and United, and when you're switching off at crucial moments and stuff, it's little things like that help you win or lose a league. We've seen that over the years, that in the big moments, guys like John Terry used to come to life, and they would save the goal line clearance, or just score a goal from a set piece or whatever. So I don't know if this squad has it. They've got the players, they've got the Silvers and the Rudigers and the Aspis. All these guys are winners. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how where things go from here, especially with this added new situation with Romelu Lukaku, for sure.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting the next few weeks with so many matches as well.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Marcus Alonso.
For what?
Just because I know you hate him so much, but he performed well today.
Are we just doing this every week? Like every week we're just going to shout Marcus Alonso out?
Every week he stays in that Chelsea team, I think he deserves a shout out.
Every week he stays, I grow another grey hair. Honestly,
he performed well today.
Okay, what I'll do is I will say that he showed up today. When we have the amount of injured players on our roster, he shows up. He's never injured, and I'm pretty sure he's COVID resistant. So I mean, I'm not wishing anything on him, but I really hope we get Emerson back. Good on him. He's like I said, he shows up. That's the biggest compliment I can give him.
Yeah,
I can do no more.
Who have we got next?
We've got Chesterfield in the cup.
Have we got Tottenham?
We've got Tottenham, haven't we? We've got Tottenham and then Chesterfield and then Man City.
It's in 3 days.
Yeah, I think it's on Wednesday. Yeah,
we've got too many fixtures this month.
Tottenham will be interesting. We've got Tottenham 3 times this month.
Yeah,
so Tottenham will be very interesting. Odds are we won't win all 3, I really hope it's the second leg that we don't win and we just draw after winning 5-0 in the first leg and then beat them in the league another 5-0. That's my prediction.
Okay.
I mean, because that's very realistic against an Antonio Conte side, who are in form, by the way.
Yeah. Definitely.
With Harry Kane and Son also coming to life. Can't imagine it going badly.
Yeah. Why would it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all for today. Any other
Yeah.
comments?
No, we done good, man. Like staying consistent.
Yeah.
We'll be here after Tottenham beat us 3-0 in the cup for sure.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I think that's all.
Yeah. All right. We can close it there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Sounds
right.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Mm.
Really nice way of closing it out, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Chelsea. Don't know how to close out games, do
Just
you?
can't.
Yeah.
Cannot.
Bottle it.
Bottle it.
All right. Let's. Wait, this is really awkward now.
Yeah. Why are you dragging it out?
I'm not. I'm just waiting for you to finish it.
Okay. That's all, folks. There we go.
Okay.
That's all. That's all you need to do.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Bye bye.
Like and subscribe.
And subscribe.
And subscribe.
And also like.
That one too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Raider.